In this video, I'm going to do two examples where we look at installment buying in terms of a car loan. So in example 3, Kat bought a 2-year-old Pacifica for $35,000, including taxes and fees. Her down payment was $3,000. She'll have to pay $541 a month for 6 years. There was no trade-in. So we need to find the cost of the car, the amount financed, the total installment price, which I abbreviated here with TIP, and then the finance charge. So we're going to start first by finding just the cost of the car. And to do that, we always want to ask ourselves, and we can look at this formula up here. Well, what is the purchase price minus any value of the trade-in plus any tax that needs to be calculated, and then any license, title, and fees. So this car was $35,000. That includes taxes and fees, so we don't have to calculate any taxes. It doesn't say anything about, well, it says there is no trade-in, so it tells us that we don't have to worry about that. And then the license and fees are included too. So the cost of the car really is just $35,000. So it makes this problem a little bit easier in that sense. And then the second step would be the amount financed. So that's the amount that's borrowed from the bank. And so to find the amount financed, and so that would be this second formula here, we're going to take the cost of the car and we're going to subtract the down payment. So the cost of the car is $35,000, and then we're going to subtract the down payment of $3,000. So that gives us $32,000. So that's the amount that Kat is borrowing from the bank. Okay, and so now to find the total installment price, so our third step, all we need to do, and we can go down to the third formula on our list here, is we need to, basically the total installment price is adding up everything that Kat has paid for this car, whether it be in the form of payments or trade-in or down payments, basically everything. And so we're going to just follow this formula. And so we're going to take the down payment, so I'll factor that in, so $3,000. So that's the down payment, plus the total of all monthly payments. Well, how do we calculate that? Well, we have to take the monthly payment, which is $541 a month, and multiply it by the number of payments she makes. Well, she makes, she's taking out this car loan for 6 years. So what we can do is we can say 6 years times 12 gives us 72 payments. So we're going to take 541 times 72. We've got to add that to the $3,000. Okay. And then there isn't any trade-in, so we don't have to worry about that. So I'm going to take the $3,000, which is my down payment, plus 541 times 72. And I end up getting a total installment price of $41,952. And that's a really important number to for Kat to look at, because it's easy to think the car is $35,000, but really it's not. Kat's paying $41,952, so it's good to be aware of that. And then step 4, we're going to find the finance charge. So of that $41,952, how much of that was going to the bank for a finance charge? Well, to find that, we can look at this fourth formula here. We take the total of all monthly payments and subtract the amount financed. So the total of all monthly payments is just going to be the 541 times 72. So we'll calculate what that is. So I'll just do that first. So 541 times 72, that gives us a total of $38,952. That's what's borrowed from the bank. And then we're going to subtract the amount financed, and we found that in step 2. So the amount financed is $32,000. Okay, and so if we subtract those two numbers, we end up getting $6,952. So that was the amount of money that was paid directly to the bank, just in exchange for the bank loaning Kat money. So that $6,952 really isn't going towards the car, it's going to the bank. Okay, so let's look at one more example. In example 4, car is listed as a purchase price of $18,500. Got a tax rate of 6%. License and title fees are $175. Carmen pays $5,000 down and trades in a car worth $2,000. She finances the rest for $245.17 per month for 60 months. Find the cost of the car, the amount financed, total installment price and the finance charge. So I actually added one more thing to that, so you can see I've got everything listed here that we have to find, but I started with tax. So step one here is going to be to calculate the tax, because in order to find the cost of the car, this isn't like the last example where the cost included the tax. In this example, it doesn't. So we have to actually calculate that first. And so to find the tax, what we're going to do, and we can use this formula up here, this note, the tax is the tax rate converted to a decimal times the purchase price minus the trade-in. So the tax rate is 6%, so 6% converted to a decimal is 0.06. And then we're going to take the purchase price of $18,500 and we're going to subtract the trade-in, because the trade-in takes money off of that price. And so the car really is going to cost $16,500 after Carmen trades this car in. And so now all we have to do is is multiply. So we're going to take 0.06 times $16,500. So 0.06 times $16,500. And that gives us a tax amount of $990. Okay, and so now for the cost of the car, we have to consider everything that we have to pay for. And so that's this very first item. So we're going to take, let me scroll up a little bit so we can see it. So we're going to take the purchase price minus the value of the trade-in plus the tax we calculated, and then any license or fees. So I'm going to start with the purchase price. So the purchase price was $18,500. I'm going to subtract the value of the trade-in. So we just did that. We did minus $2,000 and we got $16,500. Okay, so we got the purchase price, the trade-in. Now we're going to add the tax. So I'm going to add $990. Okay, so I'm going to take the $16,500 plus the $990. Okay, and then $17,490, and you can do this all in one step too. You don't have to do it separately. And then I'm going to add the license, title, and fees, and so those are $175. Okay, so I add $175 to that, and I get a grand total of $17,665. So that is the cost of the car once those taxes and fees are added in, and we take off the trade-in. And so now we're ready to calculate. So that was step 2. Now we're on step 3, which is calculating the amount financed, or the amount that's borrowed from the bank. And so we're going to have to pay off this cost of the car that we just calculated, but if there was a down payment made, we need to subtract that. So now we're on this formula right here where it says amount financed equals the cost of the car minus the down payment. And so I'm going to take the $17,665, so that's the cost of the car, minus the down payment. And it says in the problem that Carmen makes a down payment of $5,000. So I'm going to subtract $5,000 from that number. And I end up getting $12,665. So that's the amount that's borrowed from the bank. Okay, so the step 4, let's find the total installment price. And so we can use this guide up here. The total installment price, that's basically the grand total, every single amount of money that Carmen ends up, paying for this car. There's a lot of places, so that's why you have to be careful. You got to factor in the down payment, and then the total of all those monthly payments, and then also that value of the trade-in, because that is a payment. Even though it's a car that Carmen is trading in, it's still considered like a payment because she's giving this to the dealership or the seller. Okay, so I'm going to start with the down payment. So the down payment was $5,000. So I'm just going to go through this formula here and write it all down. So $5,000 is my down payment, plus the total of all monthly payments. I'm going to do that on the side. So it said in the problem that she made monthly payments of $245.17 for 60 months. So I'm going to multiply $245.17 times 60 months. Okay, and so I end up getting a total for my monthly payments as $14,710.20. So I'm going to add that $14,710.20. So I'm just going to write MP for monthly payment, and then I'm going to add the value of the trade-in, which was $2,000. So that's TI trade-in. So I'm going to put that all in my calculator. So I've already got the $14,710.20 in my calculator. So I'm going to add that down payment of $5,000 and then the $2,000 trade-in, and I get a total installment price of $21,710.20. Okay, so last step, step 4, we're going to find the, or actually this would be step 5, we're going to find the finance charge, and we can use that last formula here. Finance charge is just the total of all monthly payments minus the amount financed. So what is the amount that Carmen ends up paying the bank in total, all those monthly payments? Well, we already calculated that from the previous step, and that was $14,710.20. So that's the total of all monthly payments minus, well, how much did she actually borrow from the bank? Well, we calculated that in a previous step right here. So we calculated that as $12,665. So in my calculator, I'm just going to do 14,710 and 20 cents minus $12,665, and we end up getting a finance charge of $2,045.20. So that's the amount of money that she ends up paying directly to the bank just in interest. So interest is a little over $2,000 for this car that was $18,500.